Are we sharing too much? Are we sharing more than we need to? Sharing this publicly could have serious ramifications for her children and the future of her family. Is that something that you would want to exist on the internet forever? He told me that I was never going to find somebody that loved me. Most men, if they came across this video and they were considering dating you, this video may deter them from wanting to be in an intimate relationship with you. I think back and I think, did I really need to put that on the internet? The dating pool being absolute trash, birth control, and hyper independence are just a few of the reasons and theories for why it's so unbelievably hard to date and find people intriguing, interesting, or even attractive these days. And some of those reasons are most likely true, but one culprit I want to talk about today is social media. It's something that I don't think is being talked about enough. And of course, I am not at all discounting that there are so many factors that can affect your attractiveness to somebody. But what I would like to talk about today is the effects that social media has on us. I think that the oversharing element on social media is kind of ruining our attraction to one another. And we're stuck in a bit of a strange place online where people wonder why they're single and why they don't find people attractive or are so easily put off by someone. And to me, I think there is an element of mystery that's missing. And this theory actually occurred to me when I came across these videos, an entire rabbit hole of women, I shit you not, no pun intended, sharing how they wipe their ass on social media. You think I'm joking? Roll the montage.
All right, you guys, are you ready for your lesson on how to wipe your rump hole with long nails?
How do you wipe your ass with your long nails? I never thought I had to teach a grown-ass girl how to wipe their ass, but here we go.
And I thought it would be common sense. I thought I'd demonstrate. You take your toilet paper and place 4 fingers on the back side with your dermal ridges, which is where your fingerprints are, kind of press like that.
All right. So you take the fucking tissue, wrap it. You don't have to put so much, but you wrap it, and then not rocket science.
And my thing is, if for the life of you, you can't figure out how to wipe your own hole, maybe the long nail life is not for you. Or look, I hate to say it, but survival of the fittest comes into question for me. Back in the day, the strongest and most capable survived. And if your time is being taken up trying to figure out how to wipe your own butt with these long, unrealistic nails, and you have to turn to TikTok to learn how, will you survive the zombies? Maybe you will actually. Maybe you can just claw and scratch them to death.
I don't know how you guys do those nails and don't like poke an eye out.
There's nothing I can't do.
Like you can't do that.
No, I can't. I sure can't.
But in all seriousness, of course, it's important to mention this is nothing against these people. I don't know them. I'm sure they are wonderful people. And some of them may even be in relationships. And it probably comes from a good place of wanting to help people. It's good that these TikTok creators want to help people. But these videos did make me wonder, is our oversharing causing us to lose attraction to each other? And it's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? Like, I think back and consider the things that I have overshared on social media, even the things that I shared that were in order to help somebody else or I wanted to benefit somebody else. I think back and I think, did I really need to put that on the internet? The outbursts online, the sharing of intimate details, embarrassing things that we would normally either only tell our closest friends or take to the grave, are now being broadcast on public platforms for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people to see. And my question is this having a negative effect on us? One thing that has a negative effect on me is the way that I can feel after a night of drinking. And you may know that I love a margarita or 3. And I just don't bounce back like I used to. And if you're anything like me, I want to introduce you to something that's going to help you wake up feeling fresh after a night of drinking. And it's called pre-alcohol. ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. So here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make Z-Biotic your first drink of the night. Drink responsibly and you'll feel your best the next day. I'll have the link in the description if you want to get 15% off your first order at checkout. Plus, Z-Biotics offers 100% money back guarantee. If you're not satisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Thank you to Z-Biotics for sponsoring this portion of the video. Let's get back into it. This video that I want to share with you here is a great example.
What's the craziest thing you've done when you've had a crush on someone? I'll go first. One time.
So the craziest thing that I ever did was very psycho behavior, and I'm not recommending it to anybody because it was not chill whatsoever, but I created a fake Tinder account for my crush's significant other, and I had it up for a month, and I was matching with people that went to our school. And so eventually I accumulated maybe like 10 to 15 matches, and a few of them finally reached out to my crush and was just like, hey, isn't this your significant other? Like, why are they on Tinder? Blah, blah, blah. And so my crush eventually went to me and was just like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? And obviously I was like, break up with them. And yeah, they broke up. And then a few months later, I started dating my crush, and I never told him about that, but you know, we broke up, but I never told him that story. And so if you're watching, hey babe, sorry about that.
Psychopath.
Now, look, I've got so much to say. We've got a lot to process just in that one video. So that was a stitch. And this particular creator received 1.2 million likes. This particular creator has 27,000 TikTok followers. Potentially 7.8 million people watched that video and heard that story, which I'm not gonna lie, it's an incredibly entertaining story. But my question is that something that you would want to exist on the internet forever? I can guarantee you that most boys, most men, if they came across this video and they were considering dating you, this video may deter them from wanting to be in an intimate relationship with you. Because yes, it's great that she has the self-awareness to admit that this is incredibly psychotic behavior. And I'm honestly wondering why she's kept, I'm actually not wondering why she's kept it up. We'll get into it more later, but this video has gone viral. It's one of her viral videos on her TikTok page. And the comments are either, you know, laughing and talking about how entertaining it is, but a lot of people are saying things like, oh, sis, maybe it's time we reflect. Someone said you needed to take this to the grave. Someone else said delete. Someone said, ladies, do not take notes. And whether it's good or bad comments on this video, this particular creator feels validated by her choice to share this on a public platform. She most likely enjoys the fact that people are engaging with it and that this video has gone viral, and she is very much getting a reaction and a sense of a buzz or a high from having this many people interact with her and this many people see her face and hear her story. Even if it's a story that really probably shouldn't be told on a public platform. Let me know what you think. Is this something that you would personally share on a public platform? Do you think that this is going to affect or have a negative effect on her dating life moving forward and in the future? That poor girl that was dating her crush, it's just like, it's a very psychotic situation. That example aside, I think most people overshare to feel a sense of connection and to feel closeness. And look, as a chronic oversharer in my personal life with specific people I can trust, I can relate to wanting to share details about your life with those that you can trust. But I think sometimes the desire to do so on social media also comes from a place and a sense of not feeling good enough and wanting validation, the likes, the engagement, and the feedback loop that comes into play and encourages us to overshare more and more. It's a vicious cycle.
Well, that's my life. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed it, because I know I did.
We have developed a serious codependency with our phones and social media. And look, I'm fully admitting I have too. And I think it's affecting us in so many more ways than just our dating lives. I think the mystery and wonder is gone when at any given moment you could think about someone and wonder what they might be doing. And you can open up your Instagram or TikTok or even Snapchat and you are served a play-by-play of their day. And in some cases, their life. You aren't really left to daydream or wonder about what someone might be doing when you can see their entire day played out online. Which leads me to ask, are we sharing too much? Are we sharing more than we need to? I want to talk about a different side of this argument now. The expectations for men and women are changing. This one, I think, is less of an issue simply because I genuinely don't believe that everybody falls victims to these ideas, even though social media is trying its hardest to make it so. But there are many, many dating coaches on social media giving, quite frankly, awful advice on what to expect from a partner or simply what to look for. I mean, most recently, you may have seen this particular video go viral. A bit of a trigger warning, this particular video deals with SA and children, which is why I'm not going to be delving into it too much. I just wanted to warn you, especially if you're interested in going and pursuing this video and watching it in its entirety. I just want you to know what to expect from this video.
Hi, ladies. Hi, trophies. It's been a little over a month since I had to end up leaving my husband. I honestly don't even really know where to start, just because it's just such a hard topic. I wouldn't have any tears left because I've just cried so much. It's like I built this channel and this whole brand around being this man's wife and trying to teach other women how to attract good men and provider men and all these different things. And I didn't realize that the person I married was actually going to be my biggest nightmare. I really thought that that man was my Prince Charming, and I'm just not quite sure how this happened, why this happened. I just don't know how he was able to get away with it and so sneaky. I couldn't even go to sleep in my own house and know that my children are safe. Just by me going to sleep, my children were left unprotected.
This particular creator is currently going through a bit of a rebrand / relaunch of her Trophy Wife course, and she used to pride herself in helping women find good men, one that would provide for them and allow them to be a trophy. Hence, I think why she's branded her courses and her website Trophy Wife. And I could do a whole video on the concept of a trophy wife and why I hate that term, and I genuinely don't think it's something to aspire to. Like, when you think about it, what does a trophy do? It sits on a shelf and it's taken out on occasion to share as a showcasing of, look what I've accomplished, look what I've got. And then it's put back in the cabinet or on the shelf. And I'm not at all saying that the man that you end up with or you have right now shouldn't be proud of you. But sometimes I think the term trophy wife comes from a place for men where they are not necessarily proud of the right things. AKA, they're just stoked that they scored a young, hot woman. And that's kind of it. But like, hey, who am I to say what's right or wrong?
I'm not gonna like rain on your parade, but I'm gonna silently judge.
Anyway, back to this specific viral video. This situation could warrant an entire analysis on its own, but the internet is divided, and my heart truly goes out to this woman. It really does. I sincerely hope that her ex-husband will get what he deserves. A huge portion of the internet took issue with the fact that she has broadcasted her children's trauma and what her ex-husband did to them, how he SA'd them and violated them. And she actually started a GoFundMe, and at the time of filming today's video, she has raised around 10,000 USD from that GoFundMe. And that particular viral video alone would have gotten her at least $20,000 from AdSense. She felt she had nowhere to turn except to the internet, and the support from kind strangers online means that she can help start a new life and pay for her legal bills and help provide for her children, which is honestly an incredible thing. The power of people coming together to help someone, especially a stranger, truly amazes me. But at the same time, I can understand the sentiment from a lot of people online that sharing this publicly could have serious ramifications for her children, what the court decides in terms of custody, and the future of her family and her children. My next point I want to touch on is the fact that there are so many men who are searching for women that, quite frankly, don't exist outside of Instagram filters. And with beauty standards getting higher and higher and also harder to reach, with cosmetic enhancements now being very much a normalized, if not expected, undertaking for women. And funnily, but also scarily, people's idea of what a woman actually looks like is being warped. Some would say the Kardashians are the beauty standard of our generation. And in the UK, and most likely a lot of other regions, the Kim K package is a package that is now offered to women. It's a facial filler treatment that mimics the appearance of Kim Kardashian's face by injecting filler into the jawline, chin, and cheeks. The package is designed to create a more contoured and chiseled face shape. Beauty clinics offer the Kim K package as a deal to attract clients rather than selling the treatments separately. And in the UK alone, these package prices started around £350. And with more women getting cosmetic surgery and enhancements to look like their favorite celebrity or influencer, I personally think that women are losing their individuality. I honestly don't think most men realize a lot of the time that they are looking at a woman who has received cosmetic enhancements. So when they come across a woman who doesn't, they consider her average or basic or not worth pursuing, which is why I think there is a lot of pressure on a lot of single women to feel that they have to fix their so-called imperfections. I think it's also quite scary. I've noticed this quite a bit with young men. They will see a 50 or 60-year-old famous woman who has received a lot of cosmetic enhancements, and they think that most women look like that. They think that most women at 50 or 60 look like that. However, that's not the case. That is the result of a lot of filler, a lot of Botox, potentially a facelift. A lot of men now look at women in their 50s and 60s who have been able to afford a lot of treatments, a lot of cosmetic enhancements, and think that that's normal. And nothing grinds my gears more than the sentence, "She looks good for her age." Cosmetic surgery has become increasingly popular. From 2010 to 2018, cosmetic procedures and surgeries almost doubled, from 117,000 to more than 225,000. Today, almost 38% of the adult population are considering getting cosmetic surgery in the next 10 years. And I'm sure, surprise to absolutely nobody, according to the Australian Society of Plastic Surgeons, social media and low self-compassion are contributing to the rise in cosmetic surgery. Botox is undoubtedly the #1 non-invasive procedure. The global Botox market is projected to be worth $4.97 billion in 2023. I wanted to share a story with you that dates back to 20-year-old Caitlin days. I dated a guy, and we were together in my late teens, and then we broke up when I was 20. And he told me that I was never going to find somebody that loved me with my forehead wrinkles. I was 20. And I just want to let you know, I did not have forehead wrinkles. I mean, even now I have fine lines in my forehead and general expressions when I move my forehead because, that's just what happens when you have a forehead. But this is the expectation that young boys and men have now. They expect to see faces that don't move, with expression and with laughter and with surprise and with anger. I'm sure some of you right now are wanting to just shake the shit out of me because I know that this is a very unpopular opinion. This could be a whole video in itself because I do have a lot of, some would say, unpopular thoughts about the beauty industry, beauty standards, and the normalization of cosmetic surgeries and enhancements, and incredibly frequent use of Botox and filler. I'm sure you can get a sense of it from my little spill. But anyway, back to the main topic at hand. Other than people sharing their outbursts and oversharing online, which could potentially be leading to a decrease in attraction, it could also be the other end of the spectrum. The common idea that social media is a place that you show up as your perfectly marketed, branded best self, a perfect and strategic version of yourself. But the problem is, people have so much more nuance and are so much more multifaceted than that. So if you haven't dated for quite some time, or you chronically spend a lot of time on Instagram, you may begin to get a warped idea of how people are. You compare the not so perfect people you may be meeting in real life to the perfect, highly edited, orchestrated people that you're coming across on social media, who most of the time you don't even know, and they don't know you. But thanks to the parasocial relationship, the dynamic makes the relationship feel more special than it probably is. And the parasocial relationship is probably also a huge contributing factor as to why so many people overshare on social media. And finally, my last point I want to make, I think social media has a perception problem. The illusion of choice and the idea that there are so many perfect, Miss Universe worthy women and wealthy, highly successful, good men out there. I believe it's simply not the case.
Now you might think that this guy only exists in your mind. But guess what? You're right.
I think I read somewhere that in like 2022, there was something like 6% of the adult population in the US were millionaires. But if you're a single woman on TikTok listening to wives of millionaires tell you how to bag a rich man, you would think that there is an abundance of them. If you saw my looks maxing video, which I will have linked above, I spoke about the forums that I came across where young boys and men were talking about how they don't even bother with online dating anymore because the hotter girls are on Instagram and they can pull more on Instagram. I think online dating is more of a realistic outlook of the single people near you. Most of the girls they're probably talking to aren't even living in their city, or they're simply just trying to be polite and engage with the followers that are messaging them, aka these guys who think they're God's gift to women because these Insta famous girls are replying to them. Call me negative, but I honestly believe that chasing Instagram baddies and hunting wealthy finance bros may lead to a very unhappy and empty life. I know not everyone's a fan of online dating. However, I do think it's the future. I mean, even right now, there are a growing number of people who are meeting their partners on online dating. And I think it translates a lot more to real life interactions. Using dating apps or even social media as a vehicle to meet people in real life is, I personally think, the best way to use it. One of my closest friends I actually met because she DM'd me on Instagram from finding me on YouTube. And now we hang out. She lives in my city and I absolutely adore her. And I know this video is about dating and how social media is ruining our attractiveness to one another, and it really has nothing to do with friendship whatsoever. So sorry about the little detour on that rant. But to end, I do want to say that I think spending less time crafting the perfect life on social media and more time living offline would, I think, be great benefit to all of us. Mystery and privacy are beautiful and sacred things. Stop giving your life away so cheaply to strangers online. That's a quote from a really wonderful essay that I read by, I think her name's Freya India. I'm going to have it linked below if you want to read it. I strongly recommend sitting down with like a coffee or a tea or a wine and really digesting that essay. I strongly recommend it. It was just like such a really powerful piece. I really enjoyed it. What do you think it is that's ruining dating and ruining people's attractiveness to one another? Do you think that it has anything to do with social media? I'd love to hear your thoughts, any theories that I didn't mention today, anything that I did bring up that you want to comment on. I'd love to hear from you. Can't wait to read what you have to say. I'm going to have another few linked through there if you want to check those out. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.